Hello and welcome, I'm Peasant, and today's run through is going to be a bit odd. It's going to be Dahan Insurrection Prussia 2 and thematic board, because why not? Let's do something a bit different today. I woke up feeling a bit different, so let's do something different. Alright, we've got constant raiding. So this is a scenario I'm not even sure I've ever played it. So we'll see how this goes. After an action moves one or more Dahan, each Dahan does a damage. Okay. It only does damage in the land it ends up. I mean, this is also, I've kind of gone with an anti-synergy playthrough. Ocean doesn't really have much to do with Dahan. I suppose you can move them with Tidal Boon. You can eat them with Swallow. Military response. After an action destroys a building, add an explorer for each town or a town for each city. And they get added in land with Dahan closest to the destroyed town or city. So yeah, if we can kind of keep them to the coast as we're ocean, that'd be great. This has preference over this, and terror levels are funky. So we basically need to wipe them out basically, which is going to be awkward as ocean. We might just not get anything that can allow us to reach inland. We can't win with a terror 4. Okay, and so Terra 3 is a fewer than one land where the invaders outnumber the Dahan. Okay, fine. This is fine. No problem at all. And we're on the thematic map. I think this is east. I think so. But I think I am going to, now that we've looked at it and looked at how lovely it is, I'm just going to switch to this alternate thematic style, so it's a little bit easier for me to pass. I just like being able to read the map without too much difficulty. So here we go. Right. So yeah, there's a lot of new stuff for me here. We don't know what our first explorer is. We definitely want to be in with a town. So one of these options is good. This is actually going to be a pretty hefty bit of attacking they've got going on. If this is an early land, I'm not going to be able to defend in there. So maybe I'll be Charlie Chicken and go in this land. Okay, sands, huh? There's only one sand on this land, and I don't know why I don't play the thematic map that much. I am not sure why that is, but I'm doing what I can now to change my sickening ways. Now, I have been actually doing some preparation for a video on openings for different spirits, and so I actually was thinking about doing Ocean first. And yeah, some people seem to go top track really early, which just strikes me as odd. It seems like a weird way to spend your time, but so I'm going to stick in familiar territory as far as the opening is concerned. So we've got and interesting that I noticed on Board Game Geek when I was doing research for the openings video that Alpa was saying about deliberately not going Call of the Deeps because he didn't need the energy, and that was interesting. I didn't fully understand why you would eschew an energy when you're, especially in the first few turns, you don't have a lot of energy. You just don't have much. Okay, lots of mountain action going on. And we can, of course, push this into here. Oh yeah, I should have started in here. That was just a mistake. It would have been better too, because then I would have actually had 2 towns to drown instead of just one. Mistakes being made. This is how it is. Alright, so we've got this Ravage here. I can't do anything about that. That's not in a coastal land. But we do have lots of energy. So let's I mean, it would be nice to gain a major. I think it's a little bit early for that. Let's just see if we've got something that's actually going to help. And this is a card that will just help, and it's range 2. It'd be sad to pass up Rain of Blood though. That's one of my favourites. Love that card. So let's go with Drift Down because it's got the range 2 mainly. Range 2. It will help me in this single jungle. Weirdly, there are actually only 2 jungle or sand bits on the map. See, I'm pretty unfamiliar with the thematic map. That's I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to pretend that I'm Kevin Knowledgeman when it comes to the thematic map. You can see how swingy it would be, but that's okay. Don't mind a little bit of swinging. I'm going to go with Tide here just to get the fear train going. Even though we are playing in this scenario that I've just kind of been forgetting about. This playthrough may well just not see the light of day, because I am so unfamiliar with this scenario. Each player may push an explorer into a land with more buildings than the land it came from. Well, yes, that sounds great. Let's push this one into this land here. Yes, 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 it's all coming together marvellously. He says. Okay, the wetland. This is the worrying one. We've got all these. That's a lot of ravages got to deal with here. And I could see why in this scenario going with the early city drown strategy, i.e. going top track, might have been better. I can see the strength of that here, you know, especially now. I can see what it would have done. See how effective it would have been. Because every time I destroy stuff, it's going to spawn next to Dahan, and it's just I just haven't really seen that in action yet. So it's not real. It's, you know, it's just how my brain works. So we've got 2 ravages here. There, we can't do anything about them with the cards in hand. We've got loads of energy, so I think we're going to switch to a major here. I mean, I've foolishly gone for no sacred sites, so we're going to have bad targeting. Bad targeting. No biscuit. I mean, we could forget drift down here, potentially. Indomitable claim. That's the acceleration. Gotta love that acceleration. Plucky little acceleration card. We could even prevent a blight going down this turn in here, say. And that's, I mean, having presence over here is kind of cool as Ocean, but it's not as good as you think, because you can only actually use a lot of your powers on the coast anyway. But it is still going to be handy. It's still going to be handy. So we've got to gather into the ocean. Let's place a presence in here, because we can defend in there with the claim. So let's not retreat this one. Let's retreat this one here. And loads of explorers to eat. We can even prevent this build over here, so I think that's a good thing to do. We're gonna defend in here. Could swallow some land dwellers as well. I mean, we are eating all our Dahan. Well, we start with lots of Dahan. I mean, I'm just showing you how inexperienced I am with this kind of setup. Okay, so we're going to indomitable claim in here. For the defend, and I'm going to go plays. Plays. We're going to prevent, we're going to eat this explorer on one of these, get some lovely energy. And the cool thing about claim is it means that I actually can just reclaim as much as I like. I know that with ocean it's awkward. The good thing about having this presence here is it cannot be dragged into the ocean. You can't gather from more than one space away unless you're using jagged earth and menu mines move as one, in which case you can. But that's not what we're doing here. So you know, that's all right. Of course, I have surplus drowning here. Surplus drowning, it's, you know, horrible waste. We could just drown this explorer though here. Prevent this jungle build, gives us a very easy turn next turn, which does have an appeal. So we could have drowned another explorer here. Ravage here is 6, so that's our grasping tide isn't going to be enough. So inaccuracies. You're getting off with all these inaccuracies, peasant. So lots of ravages with Dahan in. This one already has blight in though. Yeah, I think this is a reclaim turn, and I'm glad we've got this 4 actions. The Call of the Deeps here is just going to be great. It's going to be marvelous. And we've only got this many cards, so we'll go with a miner here. I'm going to go with a miner. Oh, that would sound so wrong. I'm going to grab a miner power. See, Entrancing Apparitions has great icons for our fear game, but we're doing this business here that I still only dimly understand. So, I mean, cheesing people into the ocean is probably a good strategy for this. Maybe that's the case. I mean, yeah, cheese into the ocean, then they spawn. We need to make sure this Dahan survives so that enemies we destroyed respawn in there. But in the meantime, voracious growth. I mean, look at all this here. Voracious growth could be good for keeping the island healthy, though we're about to have this horrible ravage in 1, 2, 3, 4 lands. We can only realistically defend 2 of them. So I think maybe, yeah, let's go with voracious growth here. Pool Beneath does actually have great icons for drowning the city. Tricky choice. I think I will go with Pool Beneath. I'm turning around. I used to really dislike Pool Beneath, and now I think he's okay. Yeah, it's quite the redemption arc. Okay, so we're definitely going to go with some acceleration. We're going to go with some defending and some energy generation in here. So we're going to grab those explorers, defend, and then we just we don't. There's only yeah, one of these mountain water cards should get us the city drown. I think that's probably worthwhile. We don't have any defensive options yet. Let's go with the city drown and Pool Beneath. Ooh, do we actually have any good pulling beneath? Yeah, we can do some pulling beneath on the coast. Yeah, this is very much a learning game. It might go okay. We'll see. All right, so we're going to Indomitable Claim. I'm going to go as far inland as we can because, you know, it's not every day as ocean you get to mess around inland. I'm going to go with plays. I know it might seem a bit daft, but we're going to be hard gaining minor powers pretty soon. And we can call all the deeps in here. Come on in. The water's it's lovely. And we're gaining fear here. We've got to be careful to not trigger terror, the final terror, and then just lose because we've not done the proper preparation. Okay. So, scapegoats. It's a powerful card to get. Okay, so the island is blighted, finally. Glad to hear it. You know, there's no point messing around when it comes to blighting the island. You've got to get it done. You can't just mess around. All right, so yeah, of course, we've got the Prussia ad, so we will put them in with our coastal presence. This ravage is about to shift off, so I think this is good for us. We can even immediately, yeah, I think we put it in with our coastal presence. Though there is Dahan there. Ah, damn it! So I can't actually use. Oh, we're not using Swallow this turn. That's okay. This is we've done some acceptable things here. We can clear this land out. There is about to be a build there, and explorers are pretty good things to kill because they don't build more stuff next door. So I think that's what I'm going to do. We want to encourage these coastal builds as much as possible, and we can drown this city finally. Feels like it's been a long time coming. I'm not someone that generally prioritises drowning your coastal cities that early as ocean. You know, it's just, you know, we all have our quirks, I suppose. The difficulty here is that if I do reclaim, I will be going back into the ocean, which I don't necessarily want to do. But I can immediately use Indomitable Claim, which is because it's, I love Indomitable Claim. And we've got Jungle Sand Ravage, a single blight down here, not a big deal. I just remembered I didn't take the blight card, blight removal. That would have been nice. So I think I'm going to go with a miner here and hopefully get a blight removal. That would be nice. Okay, no blight removal, but we do have Gift of Power, which is a wonderful card. Also, this defend here might be good. I would have preferred blight removal, but can't have everything. Yeah, the defend card's actually probably pretty useful, especially in this scenario. Call to Bloodshed is good, because there is this business here of moving my Dahan means they do damage, and I've just not done any of that. Just completely missing the point of the scenario. It's a specialty. It's who I am. Yeah, I'm gonna... Oh, I can't Indomitable Claim in there. Yeah, I think Call to Bloodshed is this is the card. It's completely off-brand, but we've got 5 players, so we're not too worried about everything being off-brand, being on-brand. Gift of Power though is a lovely card. Perfect icons, gets me the powers so I can skip reclaiming, but I don't care about reclaiming. I've got Indomitable Claim. Yeah, let's go with Bloodshed. I think it's time. It's a card that I do tend to neglect. Doesn't get the play it wants. Poor bloodshed. But yeah, it's going to be sweeping through the island. It's going to be incredible. So this city, we do need to do something about the city at some point. So maybe we gain a major next turn. And I've just realised we could potentially trigger the... I hadn't even considered that this is going to give me a sun. A sun, finally. Procedural generation. My son. Yeah, we could do some more pulling beneath the Hungry Earth. I'm going to build a city here, and then we can just immediately eat it. I don't really want to swallow the land dwellers in here, though, because that's the Dahan. I think we need a coastal Dahan for the sake of cheesing the fact that they return next to a Dahan. So we kind of want to be dragging them towards the coast, but we could. No, we want to. There's going to be a city built here. We want to destroy that, but we're not going to go with that approach. We are going to call this fellow into the deeps, and we can tidal boon to push a town in. I think this is acceptable. A blight is going to go down there. Yeah, it's not ideal, but it's okay. Got some ships, the old splinters. Terra 2, there are no lands where buildings outnumber Dahan. So yeah, maybe we're doing okay. Maybe it's acceptable. And there's part of me that kind of wants to just let this guy live, but no. This is war. This isn't just straightforward colonialism. This is actual war. Oh, they're not going to build a city in there because I've triggered the innate on that. This is the individual claim is one of the few powers where you sometimes don't want to trigger the threshold. So that's not true. That Terra level 3 thing of... We at Terra level 3 already. I'm actually got to be careful not to just lose here. Wait, let me just check this scenario. Fewer than one land where buildings outnumber towns. So currently there's 1, 2, 3, 4 lands where that's the case. So I've got to be careful here not to lose by generating too much fear. I might actually have to stop gaining fear and just get the island a bit more under control. So I guess we destroy a presence here. We've got 5 in there. That's enough. Oh, we are at Terra 3 from the point of view of these, though, which is pretty good. Each player may replace buildings with things. So this turn, we've got a tidal boon push, and we've got an ocean breaks the shore push. So actually, I'm going to skip this. Because we're eating everything anyway. Invaders do not build in lands with Dahan, apparently. Okay, each player remove an explorer or a town from a land with presence or a city from a land. So that's just good. That's just nice. Thanks, Fear Card. You're just being very helpful. So we've got that blight. 2 blight. That's plenty of blight. Okay, so we have the Prussia town ad. So interesting, because we're going to be using this call to bloodshed thing, we could just walk in there. These guys are going to die anyway, but so yeah, I think we go with coast and we go with... I've got to be careful not to accidentally get to Terra 4 though. I need to stop using pound ships, and the trouble is that my defend card is actually a pretty good fear card. So I'm tempted to kind of put the town in here, but I don't... Yeah, I think that we want to still keep it coastal. This is going to explore and then build. I think this is okay. Let's put it in there. It's a bit weird to allow a city to be built, but we can eat the city. Yeah, possibly a mistake. Possibly. Right, so we've got tidal boon. So we'll push town in there. Lovely. We've got the call to bloodshed. I'm actually going to use that for the first time. And we can push it to Dahan, but I'm not going to. Just not going to. We've got ocean breaks the shore. We can only use it in here, so we'll use it in there. And that does become an explorer. Right, so I want to clear out the interior. So probably next time I'm going to try and claim in here so that I've got presence that reaches in there. So by gathering into here, they should clear this land out. So I could gather this one, but I'm going to leave them there. So yeah, they're nice. Okay, so now we've got the old pool beneath. So we can actually make this ravage not a problem, and they'll clear themselves out on the ravage. Okay, we're back to the growth phase. So we have wetland ravages. We have only one ravage that matters. We have 2 lands with buildings. So we need to do something about those lands with buildings. Is that? So we can very easily do something about this land with a building, because we could just reclaim Call to Bloodshed. And it is a bit cheesy with this. We've got this very far inland presence, so we could just reclaim for the rest of the game now. This cannot be gathered into the ocean. So yeah, if we keep on having a kind of a weird inland presence, then we're kind of good. Obviously, we need to defend in here because that's going to blight the island. So I think we need to place a presence and then gather these Dahan into here, and then they'll place. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. I think we are reclaiming. We've kind of. So this is going to go there. I'm just going to drag that in there now. And in this ravage, it will solve this problem. Oh, there's a town there that I'd forgotten about. Okay, so I think we're probably reclaiming for the rest of the game now. Obviously, Indomitable Claim has allowed this. And we're not really using Swallow the Land Dwellers because we like our coastal Dahan so much. So that's probably what I'm going to forget. Vigor of the Breaking Dawn, how very thematically appropriate. So this is going to give us extra pushes. This is probably perfect. Let's have a quick look at everything else. We are a little close to the margins on Blight. But I think going on the offense is useful. It's going to be useful for us. It's even got the good range, so we could use. It is a fast effect, which means that it's going to be a bit awkward. Well, not awkward, but it might be a bit less straightforward to coordinate than it first appears. We're definitely going to want the threshold, but that's going to be child's play. Let's Call of the Deeps to drag those chaps in there. So if we can finish off this area here. It'd be nice to have a little bit more. And I could see how having Dahan movement is very powerful, as it says in the old guide. I wonder whether it's worth getting an extra terror card. So where are we here? So we're currently at Terror 3, kind of accidentally. There's fewer than one land where buildings outnumber Dahan. So currently there are 3. And then at Terror 4, which is the Terror level victory, then there's basically a kind of all the Dahan attack. So I suppose we could position the Dahan for a final attack. Yeah, okay. Maybe we can allow ourselves to have another fear card. But yeah, the main priority is kind of clearing out this interior here. Pool beneath is actually might be quite useful because if I destroy this town, they might just throw an explorer in here. It's just a little bit of extra damage. Even a bit of town drowning. Okay, so so we want to drag these chaps into the ocean, and I'm not sure about doing this. I'm not sure I want to bring the end just yet. We do have the... I didn't even check that we had the threshold there. Careless. There is going to be a city build in here, but we can just, you know, we're not too worried about that. So I think clearing out here is good. In fact, we can clear out both of these lands, I realise. Because we can push into 2 different lands with this. We actually don't need to intermittable claim just yet either. Because this is a 2 ranger. So yeah, so I think pushing... Yeah, and then we can actually clear up in the slow phase, potentially. So if we get an explorer somewhere, we can just push a... Oh no, it's a gather, not a push. Okay, well, I think this is still fine. So we're going to... Ah, okay, we could push... We could attack in here and then push into here. And into here. That's actually better, I think. These 3 can just sit there looking menacing for now. We can bring them in with Call to Bloodshed. Yeah, I think that's good. So we'll push 1 into there. And 1 into here. So let's destroy the town. Yeah, yeah. Click a land to deal damage. Oh, I'd actually forgotten about the insurrection there, but no, it's okay. It's fine. Just destroy the explorer for simplicity, because we can just drag those in with Call to Bloodshed. Though destroying this town would be pretty good. Okay. And then let's put a presence somewhere useful for... Well, actually, we could just place a presence in here for drowning. I was thinking for targeting Call to Bloodshed, but we can actually target from here to drag into there for this city. There's no build here. Yeah, I think we just go in there, and that's purely for a bit of drowning action. And I'm not sure about going with the extra fear here. It might. I think it's so. Yeah, I don't think that's the way. It's not the way. Okay, so we'll destroy one of these numerous ocean presences. Defend 9 in all coastal lands and no builds. Well. Okay, Prussia. I'd forgotten you do this. And this is why I really like playing again odd challenges against the on the computer rather than... Let's cluster these up together rather than physical, because there's these bits that I would just forget. I'm pretty and I'm just not sure if any of my wins have any validity when I'm not playing them on the computer. Since this haunts me. Okay, so we've destroyed that. We're at Terra 3. There can only be 1 land where buildings outnumber Dahan. So currently there's this land and this land. Alright, so hopefully this is it. Hopefully we've done it. So we can destroy this city. So we can gather these in. Destroy this city. I think that should be victory. Okay, maybe it's not. Oh no. Well, there's only 1 building left. One lone building. Well, fine. We can we can prevent this build up here. Oh no, there's 2 buildings. I'm just actually... These eyes are just painted on. I just didn't see them down there. Oh, because of the respawn. Okay, because they respawn. Yes. So it's a shame I can't do something about that, but we can do something about that. Right, okay, well we should be able to finish this now just with a straight reclaim and vigour. Being very vigorous about it, so I'm not going to take too much time on that. Reaching grasp is obviously great, let's just take that instead of... So just racing through, because I think the victory is... it's there. It's there for the taking. We just need to do these things here. So we've got 2 buildings to destroy. I don't know what's zoomed in there. Just like, hey, look at this very closely. So we can just destroy this town and this town. We've got the threshold there. I'll call them some deeps for old time's sake. So that's cleared that land, and then we can push push that one into there. Let's clear that land as well. And that's it. Victory. So that was a bit of an odd scenario. My first time recording a thematic one and insurrection, so not as fluent as I one day will become. So yeah, thanks so much for joining me. I've been Peasant. Subscribes I'd really appreciate subscribe. I'm looking to try and make quite a lot of Spirit Island content, so yeah, stick around for that. And if you have ideas, feel free to share them. I've got a good number of my own, but I've really enjoyed hearing other people's ideas. So all right then, I'll catch you next time.